Parallel and perpendicular lines. Here is knowledge-based question number 2. Write slope of perpendicular line to each of the following lines. So treat it like a test preparation. Copy the questions, write down your answers, stop the video, and then once you're done, look into my suggestion, right? Now this is how I will start thinking about answering this question. It says write slope of a perpendicular line to each of the following lines. That means every line will have a different perpendicular line, right? We cannot have one perpendicular for all. At times students get confused with this, right? Now, to find slope of a line, best thing is to start with the equation y equals to mx plus b. Now, why do we take this equation y equals to mx plus b always? Because m gives you slope and b gives you y-intercept, right? So here m is the slope. This is the slope for us, and that is y-intercept. Well, as an exercise, you can also find y-intercept from these lines, right? And then write an equation of a line which is perpendicular to these lines with same y-intercept. Let that be an exercise for you, okay? Now, this is one thing you should know. And second thing you should know is, how about slope of perpendicular lines? So perpendicular lines have slope which is negative reciprocal of the given line. That means if slope of line is m1, then the slope of the other line is minus 1 over m1. That is one way of looking at it. And you will also note that when you multiply these two, you get minus 1. Do you see that? So those are the two things which will help you to answer this question. Okay, now let's go one by one. We'll write m1 as slope of the given line and m2 as slope of perpendicular line. So in the first case, m1 is equals to 3 and therefore m2 equals to minus, this is negative 1 over 3. That is what we mean by negative reciprocal. Okay, here m1 equals to 5 and m2 equals to negative 1 over 5. Correct? Here m1 equals to minus 1. If nothing is written, minus 1. m2 should be negative of this, that means plus. And 1 over 1, 1. Correct? Now here, this is kind of tricky. Now you have to see it like this. When I say x equals to 0, then I really mean that at every point, the value of x is 0. That means I'm looking into this line. Do you understand? This line. This line is called x equals to 0. X equals to 0. Yes, you got it. That is your y-axis. So equation of y-axis is x equals to 0. And which line is perpendicular to it? You can say y. Here we are talking about slope, and so we will write slope of this line is, vertical line is undefined. So we'll say m1 is undefined. So what is the slope of line which is perpendicular to it? The slope of perpendicular line is like x-axis. So we say m2 is 0, which is like flat, not rising, not falling, slope is 0. That is a tricky question, right? Similar is this. When we say y equals to 1, then we really mean that it is a horizontal line where each and every value of y is 1. Let's say this. So y-intercept of this line is 1, correct? And since it is horizontal, slope of this line is 0, and slope of perpendicular line will be like this, which is undefined. So we say m2 is undefined. Correct? Now this question, we kind of interchanged it and we have written the y-intercept first and then the variable part. Okay? Now here, this given slope is minus 3. So for this equation, m1 is minus 3 and m2, the perpendicular line should have a negative reciprocal. That means negative will make it positive 1 over 3. Correct? So that is what the slope of this line will be. For you, as an exercise, you can try this. Slope of this line, y equals to 2 over 3x plus half. Okay? Do this, and then for all these lines, try to write equation of a line which is perpendicular and which has the same y-intercept as all these. Okay? Thank you.